Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses. I'm wearing a red t-shirt with my logo on it. Pretty cool, right? And I'm sitting in an office with a few colored lights behind me. And in this video, let me regale you with a tale. Yes, as you would have seen in the thumbnail, I really did receive a speeding fine for $3,846. But as you'd imagine, there's a little bit of background and a little bit more explaining to do. So sit back, relax, and let me regale you with the story. So first of all, when we went to pick up our Model Y, my brother-in-law came with us, and he is very much a car guy, and he said to me, hey, just FYI, in fact, I should have actually called this video How My Brother-in-Law Saved My Marriage, but we'll get to that. He said just while we're driving home, he said, hey, just so you know, when you get your first speeding fine, it's going to be really high. And I said to him, I've never had a speeding fine in my life. I'm not going to get a speeding fine now. He said, with this car, you'll get a speeding fine. And well, the fact that this video exists proves that he was right. We did get a speeding fine, but there's more to it. Now, I'll explain more as we go along, but the reason why the fine was so high is because my company bought that Model Y, so it's registered with the company. And so he was warning me that if you get a speeding fine with a car that's registered to a company, the speeding fine is going to be like $3,000 to $4,000. And what you then have to do is write to the police and tell them who was driving. Then they'll write back to you with whether the person's going to lose demerit points, what have you, and give you the actual fine, which is still like $300-400 depending on how high you were speeding and all that kind of stuff. So he'd pre-warned us. So thank goodness that when this happened, it wasn't like oh my goodness, because I mean, that's a lot of money, you know. And so we'd had the car for actually a little bit over a year, and in September 2023, this speeding fine came through in the post, and you know, I opened it up and I went, oh damn it, he was right. I do know that sometimes it's a little bit easy to sort of just go with the traffic and you're not paying attention and it's gone from a 60 zone to a 50 zone, you haven't noticed, and it can happen. But I looked through and I thought, you know, there's a link in here to go look at the picture and where the infringement happened. And so I go and look on the map and I'm like, and I look at the photo and it's my car, but I've never driven down that road. Like, I know that like that road is, it's a bit, you know. And so I waited until my wife got home and said, hey, no judgment, just asking the question, could this have been you? And she was like, oh yeah, it was. So, and to her credit, like, look, she was speeding. I'm not going to argue against that, but so Warrigal Road in Melbourne is a really long, it's 60 k's an hour the whole way down the road, and this is a road that comes off of Warrigal. It's a fairly new road. She was going to drop off a book or something, and it's quite a wide road, so it feels like it's another 60 off of a 60. And she actually remembered, like, as soon as she saw the 50k sign, she slowed down, but obviously it was enough. And she was only about, you know, 3 or 4 k's over the limit, so it wasn't that dramatic. But yeah, so she did have to cop that. And thankfully, because, you know, my brother-in-law warned us that it was going to be $3,000, $4,000, it wasn't as a huge shock. So I hope if you have a car registered under your company, this doesn't come as a huge shock to you. I thought it was just a fun little story. I mean, look, it would have been fun if we weren't speeding and if we hadn't gotten the infringement, but such is life. I hope this video was helpful. I hope this video was useful. If you have enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, please like and subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you in the next one. Safe and happy driving. So for those who've been paying attention and know that I do little bloopers or after stories about after the end of the video, there is a little bit of an update on this, because my wife, just like me, had never had a speeding fine in her life, and she was feeling quite upset about this. And what we found out you can actually do, and I don't say this will work for everyone, but so she was able to write to the police and say, you know, look, in 20 years of driving, I've never had a speeding fine, never had any fine for anything. I was only about 2 or 3 Ks over the limit, like really, it was really sort of close. And she actually got a warning. So we didn't have to pay the fine, and she got a warning. And apparently you can write in and try this. Again, no guarantee that it'll work, but it did actually work for her. And so she didn't lose any demerit points or have to pay the fine. And I believe she can't try and claim this sort of good behavior warning thing for another 3 or 4 years. Like, you can only do it once every 3 or 4 years, but extra happy ending.